Jason Blood Church coming to you today. God bless each and every one of you. Happy Thanksgiving. Is Thanksgiving Day really we're about service to the Lord? I think that's what we'll find. We look at this Divinity School, University of Chicago article. It talks about the fast day being a forgotten part of the holiday of Thanksgiving. So we go back to the beginning of America and the colonization of America in New England. And Americans have forgotten that fast day was really an integral part of Thanksgiving, according to this article. Originated together in the colony of New England, most Americans think Thanksgiving celebration started in 1621 when the Pilgrim settlers and the Wampanoag Indians feasted at Plymouth, but yet the settlers themselves did not consider this an event, a day of Thanksgiving at all, but simply a harvest festival. For them, a Thanksgiving Day involved a church service to offer prayers and gratitude to God for granting some great boon. In other words, they were giving thanks to the Lord. That's what we should be doing every day. But when a natural disaster struck, the article goes on to say whether by military or natural reasons, the settlers assumed that God was chastising them for their wickedness, and so they needed to show repentance by fasting and holding a church service to pray for forgiveness. In terms of the fast day, which is no longer celebrated, but it was a typical part of practice. We see that during the American Revolution, in years in the early Republic of the United States, Congress and or the President, in response to important events, proclaimed days of national fasting or Thanksgiving. And both fast day and Thanksgiving looked as if it might go on the national calendar together, to remember this was really just service to the Lord. Amen. And we get to the story of a man named Squanto. Squanto was really a Indian that ended up in 1605 going to England on a ship. It was a ship that came by and they came in. They took some of the Indians and they took them to Europe and sort of captured them actually. But he came to know the Lord, and John Slaney sympathized with him and took him in and taught him English. And he ended up, after about 5 trips, getting him actually back and arriving back into his village. Much to his dismay, they were all killed. And so he joined a neighboring village. But when the 1620 group of Puritans showed up, he was instrumental in the communication between the Pilgrims and the Indians. And he helped to have them understand how to grow corn and how to survive the winter, the harsh winter upcoming. How to get nuts and berries picked, where to do all those things, and so Squanto was essential. And according to the diary of the Pilgrims, Governor William Bradford, Squanto became a special instrument sent of God for our good. He showed us how to plant our corn, where to take fish, and to procure other commodities, and was also our pilot to bring us to unknown places for our profit, and never left us till he died. So Squanto did later die of a fever, and Bradford wrote about him, their Indian friend, desired the governor to pray for him, that he might go to the Englishman's God in heaven. Squanto bequeathed his possessions to his English friends as remembrances of his love. And so Squanto's story is remarkable, and it shows how God can move and use an Indian who later became saved, more than likely, and learned English language, and God used him to bring over and establish a Puritan, Bible-believing colony in America at Plymouth in a time that they probably wouldn't have made it without him. And so God moves, and I think the purpose and the idea of, at least in America, of having Thanksgiving is to give thanks to the Lord. And as long as you do that, yes, this is not a biblical holiday, no doubt about it. It's just an American holiday, but we can also remember how our country started and the ideas of serving and service to the Lord. Anyway, God bless. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.